Hey guys, this is Charlie01 with another video for you. This one on how to store dried goods. I have just a standard ball canning jar, lid for you, and then some beans that we're going to can in this. And this is a method that doesn't involve using water at all, so not pressure canning with like a pressure canner on your stove with water in it getting superheated, or cold water bath canning, so you don't have to worry about moisture getting in the jar in any way. So here's what we're going to do. Take a bag of, in this case I got some kidney beans here, and I'm going to fill this jar up with the kidney beans. You can do this with rice, pasta. Guess my hole in it wasn't big enough. Rice or pasta, other beans, just whatever you have that you want to can as far as dry goods go. Okay, so I have this. I mean, you can fill it probably all the way full, but what you'll use is oxygen absorbers, or in the case of a cheap substitute, hand warmers, when you get them at like a 50% off price for being out of season, usually like the end of winter, from Walmart or any of the big chain stores. They try to clearance them out because people don't want them in the summer. Now these are generally non-toxic, but they still recommend not exposing them to your lips or your mouth. So what I would recommend is, if you're that concerned about it, take a coffee filter, just so there is a barrier between the hand warmer or oxygen absorber and the food itself. You can just stick this in here like so, and it will still allow, oh, I hit the camera there, it will still allow the oxygen through it. Let it heat up, start working its magic. The reason why you can use hand warmers are, that's their main purpose, is they activate off of oxygen in the air. That's what causes them to heat up. So as soon as the oxygen has all been removed from the container, it will actually seal the container, keeping all the oxygen out. So I'm going to stick that in there like that. Put the lid on, make sure that it seals. Close this lid on. See, right now you still have that showing that there's still oxygen in it. There isn't a vacuum seal on it yet. Sometimes you sort of have to push down on it. There's Patriot Puppy checking to see what I'm doing. Now it may take a few minutes for it to actually remove all the oxygen from here. You can actually feel the lid starting to heat up somewhat. I know, real exciting footage right here, isn't it? So you can tell it's still got some oxygen in it, but it's working on it. The more I push on this, the more I can feel it starting to indent back in. And this is just your standard 10-hour hand warmer. It was a 2-pack, but obviously I used one of them already. And these are just some basic coffee filters, basic red kidney beans. We'll see how long this takes to work. And this is a good way to store the dried goods. I've also used vacuum sealers, like some from Food Saver. Only issue with those are I've seen real problems with the quality of the seals that they'll form, in which the seals will eventually, you know, fail on them, and you don't want to store stuff and expect to have it still good in 5 years, and you go and check on it and it turns out that the seal had busted and the food inside is all moldy and everything else. Oh, there we go. Oh, sort of. Close. It's getting there. Can tell because the lid is starting to seal itself. It's not going down at all anymore. And there you go. We'll let it go for another 30 seconds here. But as I was saying, this is easier because the seal on it is a whole lot harder sealed than what you'll have on a vacuum sealed bag. It's a lot harder to make this seal go bad without cracking the glass or physically pulling the seal off of it. Yeah, you can't. It's a lot harder because you do have glass jars and a lot more. I mean, with this, I could just stick this in like a 12-inch vacuum seal bag and seal the whole thing right away. But the way I look at it is, with this, you can also seal them more in like a serving size. I mean, unless you have a huge family and you need to make a lot of beans at one time, are you ever going to use this 5-pound bag of beans all in one sitting? I mean, unless you're doing something for like the whole community in your area. Where these, with this, you could get the smaller jars, the smaller pint-sized jars, or even smaller jars, and put in just enough beans for your family for that day, and can it this way. I'll have links in probably when I post this on the website. See, that seal's completely sealed now. Here, we'll test it. See, it's not coming off of there until you break that seal. We're going to put it back on here just because this is going in the storage food. But that right there is what I'm talking about. And I'll put links in when I post this on the website for oxygen absorbers, because it will work with oxygen absorbers as well. I just use the heat pads just because get them on clearance at the end of the season for cheaper than what you can get a bunch of oxygen absorbers for. So that is that. So this is Charlie01 signing off.